Icon Audio Arts.
Incidents in the Life of a Slave Girl. Written by Harriet Jacobs. Narrated by Geoffrey Giuliano and the Icon Players. African American Studies are an interdisciplinary academic field primarily devoted to the study of the history, culture, and politics of black people of the United States. The field has been defined in many different ways, but taken broadly, it not only studies African slave descendants, but also the community of the African diaspora linked to the Americas. This, of course, includes scholars of African American as well as Caribbean, African, and Afro-European literature, history, politics, and religion, as well as those from disciplines such as sociology, anthropology, cultural studies, psychology, education, and many other disciplines within the humanities and social sciences. Intensive academic efforts to reconstruct African American history began in the late 19th century. Amongst the pioneers in the first half of the 20th century were Carter G. Woodson and Lorenzo Dow Turner. Programs and departments of African American studies were first created in the 1960s and 70s as a result of inter-ethnic student and faculty activism at many universities, sparked by a 5-month strike for black studies at San Francisco State. In February of 1968, the university hired sociologist Nathan Hare to coordinate the first Black Studies program. The department was created in September of that year and gained official status at the end of the strike in the spring of '69. The creation of departments in Black Studies was a common demand of protests and sit-ins by minority students and their allies, who felt their culture and interest were underserved by the traditional academic structure. Black Studies is a systematic way of studying black people in the world, such as their history, culture, and religion. It is a study of the black experience and the effect of society upon them. This discipline also implements history, economic pressures, and gender relationships, among other relevant topics of interest to the black community and beyond.
Chapter 1. Childhood. I was born a slave, but I never knew it till 6 years of happy childhood had passed away. My father was a carpenter, and considered so intelligent and skillful in his trade, that, when buildings out of the common line were to be erected, he was sent for from long distances to be head workman. On condition of paying his mistress $200 a year and supporting himself, he was allowed to work at his trade and manage his own affairs. His strongest wish was to purchase his children, but though he several times offered his hard earnings for that purpose, he never succeeded. In complexion, my parents were a light shade of brownish yellow, and were termed mulattoes. They lived together in a comfortable home, and though we were all slaves, I was so fondly shielded that I never dreamed I was a piece of merchandise, trusted to them for safekeeping, and liable to be demanded of them at any moment. I had one brother, William, who was 2 years younger than myself, a bright, affectionate child. I had also a great treasure in my maternal grandmother, who was a remarkable woman in many respects. She was the daughter of a planter in South Carolina, who, at his death, left her mother and his 3 children free, with money to go to St. Augustine, where they had relatives. It was during the Revolutionary War, and
Sample complete. Ready to continue?